Hi everyone, welcome to the Capital Area Food Bank recipe video library. Today we are going to be making peanut cilantro coleslaw. So this is actually one of my favorite recipes here at the food bank. If you really like this recipe at the end and you want to check out any of our other recipes, there is a link below. If you want to pair this with any of our other amazing recipes also, there's a link below. So please check that out. We have really amazing options. We have breakfast, lunch, dinner, meats, fish, everything. So you can check that out. But I'm going to go over the ingredients that we're going to use for the peanut cilantro coleslaw. So what we're going to be using today is we're going to be using this half a head of cabbage. So this is just half a head of cabbage. We are going to be using 3 green onions. We will be using 2 carrots. I already grated and cut 1 carrot, so I'm going to do that for this carrot. And then we are going to be using about 1/4 cup of cilantro. This might be a little more than that, but we're going to be using all this. And when you're using your cilantro, it's really nice to use the stems as well. It has the same exact flavor as the leaves. I know a lot of people usually just consume the leaves, but the stems are also really amazing as well. And it also makes it go a long way because cilantro bushels are kind of small. And next we have 1 red bell pepper. We have 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. You can use any vinegar you like. You don't have to use white. So if you have another already in your home, you can go ahead and use that one. We also have 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Again, you can use any oil that you like. You do not have to use this one. Next, we have 2 tablespoons of sugar. I decided to use brown sugar. Use any sugar you like. And then next, we have soy sauce. I recommend buying reduced sodium soy sauce. And next we have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. And this is creamy peanut butter. If you like kind of a crunchy texture, I would recommend using crunchy peanut butter for this recipe. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up my green onions. I'm going to put everything in this bowl. As you can see, I already have a few of my grated carrots in there. I'm just going to keep adding things to the bowl. So I'm going to add together the green onions, the carrot, the bell pepper, the cilantro, and the cabbage. So I'm going to add all of these things into this bowl. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the green onions. I'm going to try to cut them all together. When cutting, it's really important to kind of watch your fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and make my claw. I'm going to cut off these little hairy ends. I don't necessarily want to use those. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting up my green onions. You can cut up the stems as well. I'm going to take off some of these kind of wilted ends. Okay. All right, it's looking good. Okay, so these are our green onions. So I'm going to kind of scoop these all up. I'm going to go ahead and add them to our carrots that we already have in our bowl. All right. I'm going to kind of put all the stuff to the side. All the stuff I don't want, I'm going to put it to the side. Okay, so we have our green onions in our bowl. Next, I am going to cut up our cabbage. So we're only using half a head of cabbage. So you can use the other half for anything you'd like. I'm just going to cut it in half to make it a little easier. Cut it in half one more time. All right. I'm just going to kind of cut this into the little slices. So when we're cutting our cabbage, we want it into kind of slice forms because, again, we're making coleslaw. So cutting it into slices is probably the easiest route to go. And when it gets a little smaller, and I don't want this kind of in part of the cabbage, so I'm not going to use that. Then I'm just going to take each slice and cut it into slices. Okay. And again, I don't want these ends. So I'm going to add this into the bowl. I'm going to add all of this into my bowl. My bowl is getting big. Okay. So now we have our cabbage in our bowl. Okay, so next we are going to do our bell pepper. So we're going to, again, cut our bell pepper into strips because we want everything to kind of be in strip form since we're making our coleslaw. All right. So take the bell pepper, cut it into strips. Put those in. Perfect. All right, so our bell pepper is added. So our next ingredient is our carrot. So we're gonna go ahead and do our carrot. Okay, I'm gonna actually cut the end of the carrot, and then I'm gonna cut it in half. So what we're gonna do with the carrot is we're gonna use a grater. So this is a grater. You could use any size you want. I'm gonna go ahead and use the medium side just because I like it kind of this size and it's in my coleslaw. But you can use any side you want. So you're just gonna make sure that you have a good grip of the grater, and you're just gonna start. And you don't have to, again, put much pressure on it. Just kind of move with the carrot. And make sure you're watching your fingers. And you can also cut up these little ends once you get to the nub part, instead of placing them to the side. But I'm just going to place them to the side for right now. All right, so we grated our carrots. So I'm going to just put the grater to the side. Scoop up all the carrots, add it to our coleslaw. And then last but not least, we are going to cut up our cilantro. So when cutting up cilantro, again, it's nice to use the stems because they taste just like the leaves. I like to kind of form it into a shape that I can cut. Makes it really easy to cut. And then again, just slice your cilantro. And I just like to make it a little smaller. All right, clean my knife. There we have it. I'm just going to use a little bit of it because it said 1/4 of a cup, and this is a little bit more. So I'm going to just add that to our coleslaw. So what we're going to do now is we are going to make the sauce for our peanut cilantro coleslaw. So you have all of our ingredients for our coleslaw. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to add everything to the bowl. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm just going to add the sugar to the bowl, the other tablespoon of sugar to the bowl. I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Then I'm going to add the 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Okay. I'm going to add the 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Again, any vinegar you want, reduced soy sauce, reduced sodium soy sauce, and you can use creamy or crunchy peanut butter. All right, so I added everything to the bowl. I'm going to just whisk it all up. Make it nice and yummy. Perfect. So here's our sauce. All right, so this is our coleslaw. So now what we're going to do, now that we have our sauce ready, is we are going to just pour the sauce into the coleslaw. Perfection. Okay, so we're going to put that off to the side. This is what it looks like. So now all we're going to do is we're going to take our spatula and we're just going to mix it all up. So I'm going to just mix everything up in the bowl. Mix up our carrots and our coleslaw and our pepper. And there you have it. We have peanut cilantro coleslaw. And I hope you really enjoyed this video. And yes, make sure you check the link below if you want to see any additional videos. Thank you.